I hope you had a good week, and hope some of you got and worked on your alignment during the week, picking those cues to get in place. And we're going to start out with reviewing alignment with a little bit more focus on the lower extremities. So I want you to get in that and take yourself through that little exercise we did at the end of last week. So, but we're going to start at the feet and really pay attention to what's going on alignment-wise down there. So we talked about the pods on your feet, base of the big toe, base the little middle of the heel. I want you to get those points down, and you can close your eyes if it helps to find the middle of your foot and being in that neutral position on your foot. So what we want is that equal pressure on those 3 points. And for me, I'm a really flat-footed person, so my feet roll in, and I spend more time on the inside of my foot. So I have to cue myself to get some weight on the outside of my foot. And that helps line up my calcaneus, my heel, with my knees and my hips. If you're a really supinated person, you may be living on the outside of your feet. What's going on in the feet? Or if you're on the outside of the feet, you're going to need to think about getting that base of the big toe down. Okay, so find that neutral foot position. You're going to make, if you're flat-footed, you want more of an arch. If you're supinated, you want a little bit more pressure on the base of the big toe. Because alignment is so important in what's going on in our legs. If I'm really turned in, and try that now just standing. If I'm way turned in, okay, my feet are going to be flat, my knees are going to not be in such a good position. You're not going to have good conductivity at your knee joint, at your hip joint. So we want to really try and get the alignment so there's less stress and strain on our knees, hips, ankle joints. Okay, so we've got our foot position. I want you to relax your knees, let them not be locked out, and think about your kneecap being over the middle of your second toe. That's about where you want your alignment there. And what directs that alignment is really what's happening at my hips. So my hips right here should be aligned over my patella over my second toe. See if you can get there. Then use your little hand triangle on your pelvis and find that neutral spine pelvis for your lumbar spine. Okay? Equal weight on both feet. And this is important because we tend to always shift to one side or another. So get that alignment going down through both feet. Again, you can revisit your upper extremities, setting those scapula back and down, having a nice open chest, and length through your spine. Okay? Once we're here, we're going to, in my email, we talked about getting that glute coming on. Okay? Everybody talks about the Gluteus Maximus these days, and it is an important muscle. That's what helps propel us as we're walking. So we're going to turn those guys on and find them a little bit just in standing. Something you can do at home, again, easily, brushing teeth, doing dishes at the sink, getting that good alignment, and I want you to just tap your butt. When you tap a muscle, that helps facilitate that muscle coming on. So tap your butt a little bit, and then I want you to do an isometric where you tighten those muscles. It's like you're pulling your butt cheek up, and hold it for about 5 seconds. Feel what's going on there, and then relax and let go. As I do that, I'm going to be keeping my knees nice and soft, okay? So tap, tap, tap on the buttocks, tighten, knees are staying soft. I'm focusing that it's happening in my gluteals. And then relax. It's like I've got a string on my butt cheek, and I'm just pulling them up, getting that engagement. And then what I'd like you to do is to explore one side and the other side. I know for me, my left does not come on as well. So I'm going to go tap, 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 turn on my left. Keep my knees soft. And then relax and let go. Go into the other side. Tap, 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 turn on. Feel it turn on. Get that good contraction. Keep my quad soft if I can. And have it happening in the behind. And then one more on each side. You're going to tap, tap, tap on the buttocks. Turn it on. And relax and let go. over to the other side, tap, 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 turn it on. Well, that's my glute max working. We're going to get that glute max working with some squats now. So I know we're talking about this being a Pilates mat class. A lot of the stuff I'm doing today isn't straight classical Pilates, but we're still thinking about our elongation, our breathing, etc., using those Pilates principles to get some lower extremity movement. So squats is a closed chain exercise. Closed chain meaning my feet are on the ground, and I'm getting some proprioception, some feedback from the floor to help me engage my muscles. The glutes extend your hips. So if I'm going down into a chair, okay, I'm flexing my hips. I'm going to push through my heels, engage my gluteals. That's what's bringing me up into hip extension. Turn them on, and then check where's your alignment. Am I going off into bad alignment? It's not just doing a squat, it's doing a squat and ending in your good position. Okay, so it's sitting back into your heels, my knees over the middle of my foot. I'm only going as far as I can without feeling any pain in my knees. I'm not allowing my knees to go any further than my big toe. But I'm sitting back, my hip hinge, my hinge is happening at my hips. Hold there, push through your heels, and come on up. So now I want you to pay attention as you're going down into that squat. What's happening in your lumbar spine? Sometimes you can go so far, okay, keeping your neutral spine, and then your butt tucks underneath you, okay? That's not going to be you've lost your neutral spine position. So these squats you're doing while you're keeping your neutral spine position. Keep going on those. If you have a stick at home, not now, they didn't tell you to bring a stick, but you can use a broomstick and put it there to give you feedback to see as you're going down, are you keeping a little space between the stick and your back? Okay, one more, hinging at the hips, sitting back down, keeping that neutral spine, push through your heels. Those are your glutes that you've just woken up coming on. Okay, and when I end, I'm in neutral position, lengthen spine. So that's your gluteus maximus, and we're going to work some more when we're down on the ground on that. Also, your gluteus medius is another muscle. It's a little side muscle here, smaller than your gluteus maximus, but it's important with walking also. So and what it does is it brings your leg out to the side, okay? But when you're in a closed chain position, again, where my foot's on the ground, what it does is it helps keep my pelvis level as I step, okay? If I step and this muscle isn't coming on, then I get a hip drop, okay? And when I get that hip drop, now my alignment is all off. As you can see, my lumbar spine is bending, my knee isn't in good position, and the forces going through my whole lower kinetic chain are not good. So just stepping, engaging that lateral hip muscle and focusing that your pelvis is staying level. If balance is an issue, hold onto the wall, okay? Or keep one toe down, but you're just focusing that you're having a nice level pelvis as you step. So just explore a couple times on one side, a couple times on the other. Do you have the strength in that glute med to keep that nice level pelvis as you step? All right? Because this all goes into walking. One more step there. Good. And come back. One more muscle in this lower kinetic chain when we're standing, we're going to focus on are your calf muscles, your gastrocsoleus. What they do is they lift your heels up in the air. So what I want you to do, reorganize, get your alignment. You're probably getting much quicker at finding that lineup, okay? And we're going to do just some heel lifts. But what I want you to explore when you're going up on your heels, on your toes, what's happening at your heels? Are they turning in? Are they going out? That's going to change that whole lower kinetic chain. So what we want to do is I'm going up, I'm thinking of equal pressure across all my metatarsals, thinking of trying to keep my heel behind my calf. So it shouldn't turn in, it shouldn't turn out. And it's slowly going up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then slowly going down. You get strengthening both going up and down. Okay, so up on those toes, equal pressure across the metatarsal heads, and then slowly lowering down. As you're doing that, you're seeing what's happening through your whole body, not just your legs. Am I sticking my ribs out, keeping my shoulders in line, and down? They recently were looking at a study to see why people slowed down when they were walking. What muscle was it that was the one that was going south as people aged? Why were they walking slower or running slower? And what they found is that the muscle mass in this muscle, your gastrocnemius soleus, it's one that really inhibits the pace of your walking if you lose the strength in it. And this is just an easy exercise to do. You can shift and do on one side. If your balance is okay, if not, hold the wall or hold a stick, but you're gonna go up on both, shift onto one side, and then lower down, okay? So up on both, for me, I'm a little dicey. I would be holding onto a wall if I have it, and slow down. Okay, that's gonna be a lot more work, and you're gonna develop that one side more. We're gonna do one more on the left or right side, whichever one you're on. And whoops, sorry. And slowly down. Shift onto your right. So again, recenter yourself, up on both, hold over onto your right, and slowly lower down. Up on both, shift to the right, try and keep the heel not turning in or out. And again, up on both, shift to the right, slowly lower down. And you should be feeling it in there. One more, and down. Okay, so something you can do easily. I'm gonna try and see if I can mute everybody. Huh.
I was going to suggest there are some.
Yeah, sorry. Mute. Do I see? I think we're all muted now, except me. You can hear me now. Okay. So we're gonna get onto your mat, and we're gonna do some finding those glutes laying down on the mat. So sit on the mat, hold your hands underneath your knees. We're gonna do our spinal articulation down one vertebra at a time to get down onto our back. Find your neutral position. Okay, use your little hand triangle, neutral spine in my pelvis. We're gonna do some bridge work, but we're not gonna do the spine articulation that we were gonna do. We're gonna do some glute work with focus on some bridge work with focus on the gluteals. So take that breath in through the rib cage. Exhale, abdominals come on. Push through your heels. Your gluteus maximus comes on, and again, you can tap it. Give it a little engagement there. Hold there for a few seconds and come down. So my hinge right now is not going through my spine, it's going through my hip joint. And this is more of a gluteal strengthener. I do need my abdominals coming on. Breath in, exhale, abdominal brace, push through the heels. Feel those glute muscles come on. Give them a little tap, hold there. You're really gonna open up the front of your thighs, okay? Your hip flexors are usually the ones that are tight and short, and your glutes are the ones that are weak and sometimes lengthened. So breath in again, exhale, abdominal brace. I'm pushing through my heels, glutes coming on. I'm going into hip extension, not back extension. I'm not arching my back a lot, and I use my abdominals to keep me from arching in my back. And then come on down. If this feels great and you're feeling pretty strong, you can progress. If not, you're gonna just keep doing the regular bridge. But if you're feeling strong, come on up into a bridge. And then what I want you to do is we're gonna lift one leg. So as I shift my weight onto my left leg, I'm thinking a lot of glutes coming on, and I'm thinking of my opposite, my right side of my abdominals, my obliques coming on to keep a level pelvis. And then leg down. Re-engage those abs, shift to your right, extend your left knee. If this isn't feeling good and you can't keep that level pelvis or your hamstrings are cramping, just keep doing your two-legged bridge right now. Breath in, exhale, engage, shift to the left, extend the right knee. So my left glute's working, my right oblique, hold there. And then switch. So this is gonna really wake up those butt muscles, and I'm going to tap it. Think about pulling your heel towards your buttock. Think about your opposite abdominal and down. Now for me, I'm starting to lose my axial elongation, and I was starting to stick my chin out. So I have to pay attention. Still what's happening up here. Soft chest, long neck. I'm going to do one more on each side. Exhale, engage, tighten that glute, extend the leg. And shift over to your other side. Weight bear, turn that glute on. Think about the opposite side of your abdominal wall, and then come down. And I'm going to spine curl down one at a time. Feels good on the spine. And bring my knees towards my chest. Little stretch there. Okay, we're gonna do some leg circles. We've been focusing a lot on the glutes, which is important, but you have hip rotators that rotate your thigh and your femur. And we're gonna work on those with some core stability. Okay, but first we're gonna stretch out the hamstrings. So bring one knee up, hold underneath with your hand, and you're going to extend your knee. Feel that stretch in your hamstring. I'm trying to keep my neutral spine position. So keeping my tailbone down, reaching my heel away from my buttocks. Do two more. We want to get the length in that muscle, that hamstring that tightens up on us before we go into the leg circles. And one more. Once you're here, now few calf stretches. So you're just going to pull your toes towards your nose. One more time. So if you remember, we've done these before on these leg circles. You're going to get your neutral spine position. Your other leg can be bent or straightened. Easier if you're bent with your foot on the ground, harder if it's straightened. Your focus is that you're keeping a neutral pelvis as your femur is circling around in the socket. So I'm going to start, breath in through the rib cage. As I go across my body, exhale, up. Everybody's circle is going to be a different size. Some have more flexibility, some have less. But it's the focus of keeping your PSIS on your back down, keeping my scapula down as I'm rotating in the socket. One more. Now we're going to go the opposite direction. So breath in as I'm going out to the side. Exhale, pull. So it's disassociation of my femur from my spine. I'm not having my spine move my femur. I'm having it happen at the femur. Good. Bring that knee into the chest and just a stretch. Extend it out. Find your neutral pelvis. See what's happening at your chest. Relax those shoulder blades, wide clavicles. Bring the other leg towards your chest. The femur's at a 90 degree. If you don't have that much flexibility, you can be down lower, and you're gonna extend your left leg. And then let your knee bend. That hamstring attaches at your buttocks and below your knee. And you wanna think that you're stretching it from both ends. So I visualize that my heel is reaching away from my buttocks. Keeping my neutral spine position, I have a slight arch in my back. One more stretch there. And now pull the toes towards the nose, little calf stretch.
Hey, Gail, can I ask a quick question? It's Michelle.
You sure can.
So if you're feeling popping or bone stuff in your leg circles, do you have some recommendations for that?
I would do it with your knee bent more, and I would make a smaller circle, okay? I would try those things. Because it may be you're just rolling out and getting in those ligaments too much. So knee bent, little bit more abdominals coming on, and make it a smaller circle. So I can do a circle this small, because I do sometimes on myself get that, that popping and stuff. Does that help?
Thank you.
Across the body, as you inhale, up, exhale. One more. Now you go in the other direction. Breath in as you go out. Exhale, down and up. So some of that popping, Michelle, can be from the not having good stability through there. Some of it can be from the tight ligaments and muscles. So that's where I need to make my circles a little bit smaller, because I don't have the flexibility to get where I want. One more. Good. And knees to your chest, get a nice stretch there. Okay, on to tummy time. If you need a pillow under your stomach, by all means, do that. And we're gonna prep the glutes, get the glutes going, and then do some heel beats in the prone position. So really important when you're here, pillow under your stomach if you have stenosis or back issues that don't allow you to go into this position. And really important, no matter who you are, that when you're here, you're using your abdominals. So I'm not sinking into extension. I'm really thinking about when I'm here, pulling up that navel away from the mat. And we're gonna just cue our glute here on the left first, okay? So tap it and then just turn it on and then float your leg up. And feel that glute coming on. We just wanna wake it up a little bit and let it come down. Breath in, exhale, pull up the belly. Tap the glute, lift the leg. Feel it coming on, okay? And come down. One more time, breath in, exhale, pull in those abdominals. That's gonna keep you from going into back extension. Get that glute turning on and down. Other side, breath in, exhale, belly button towards spine, tap the glute, lift. As I lift, it's coming from up high. Now you want to try and keep your hamstrings a little bit soft. Your hamstrings extend you too, but I'm going to focus on that glute coming in to lift that leg up. One more. Tap, tap, and lift. Okay, so heel beats. You can have your hands resting on your forehead. You're going to put your heels together so my femurs are turned out. It's like I have saran wrap around my femurs, turning them out. It's going to pull in. You're going to think about your adductors, your inner thighs a little bit. If I pull in my pelvic floor and then pull that navel to the spine, that's going to help get that engagement of those adductors. Okay, so breath in, exhale, heels together, float your feet up off the floor. Glutes are engaged. And now I want you to beat your heels together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then come down. Breath in, heels together, pull in that pelvic floor adductors. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try not to go into your low back here. That's what your abs pulling up for are. Pull the heels together, inner thighs, and beat those heels together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gonna do this 2 more times. Breath in, exhale. Abdominals on, heels together, pelvic floor, inner thigh. Beat those heels together. Feel those glutes coming on. And come down 1 more time. Breath in, exhale. Abdominals on, heels together, inner thighs. And down. Okay. Let's come on up into child's pose. Just a couple of breaths here. Now we're going to go into doing a little bit of a hip flexor stretch before we do some more glute work, okay? Again, when we're sitting, this muscle, your hip flexor, is in a shortened position. And it's the opposer. So if it's on and on and on and not relaxing, we're not going to be able to facilitate our glute. So I want you to get into a half kneel position. If this is uncomfortable for you and you can't be on your knee, you can always put your foot on a chair, okay, and do it this way. But if you're okay with your knee, we're going to get down this way. Once I'm here, what I'm going to do is a posterior pelvic tilt. Tuck my tail underneath me like I'm a bad dog. And that may be enough to just give me a little bit of a stretch right here, okay? I'm going to then lean my whole trunk forward, keeping my neutral spine position. I'm not arching. I'm not getting my back broken there, okay, into extension. Keep that neutral spine and lean forward. Your psoas actually, and once you're here, raise your arm if you can, and take about 5 deep breaths. Your psoas attaches into your lumbar spine. So if I start arching my back, I'm not going to get the length in that psoas because I'm going to be shortening it there. I want to think about keeping my ribs over my hips and lean my body forward in that posterior pelvic tilt, raising the arm, breathing, stretching. Okay, we're going to switch to the other side. One knee bent, other foot on the floor. Do my little posterior pelvic tilt. And for some people, that may be enough of a stretch. You may feel it right in the front of your hip there. If not, you're going to lean your body forward a little bit. Raise your arm up. Keep your neutral spine position. And take a couple more breaths here. Okay, so we're going to go down into quadruped so we can cue up that gluteus maximus again. So quadruped position, and we're going to revisit our shoulder stabilization as long as we're here. Hands underneath your shoulders, length through your spine. So my head reaching away from my tailbone. Find that neutral spine in your lumbar spine. And so for my hands, I'm going to think about spreading the floor, pushing my pinkies away from each other, engaging that serratus anterior so I have a nice broad back, okay? Nice open clavicles. And now we're going to cue that glute maximus, and we're going to lift our left knee up, and we're going to press our heel towards the ceiling and come back down. Exhale. So I'm only going as far as I can without rotating or extending my lumbar spine. And the hinge is happening at my hip. I'm imagining that I'm imprinting my foot on the ceiling. Now this is where if you had an elastic band and you wanted more resistance, you could anchor it around your opposite hand and around your foot and press up. But if you just really focus and feel that glute come on, You may not need the resistance. My 2 front hip bones, my ASIS, are staying level. I'm not rotating my back. Do about 3 more here. Breath in, coming down. Exhale, push up. What's happening at your upper extremities? Are you keeping a nice broad back? Don't let your scapula come together. Length between your ears and your shoulders. Do 1 more for me. Good. So we're going to switch. Opposite leg's going to come up this time, other leg. Get my length in my spine, my head away from my tailbone, neutral spine position. Nice broad shoulder blades. Lift that knee and exhale as you imprint your foot on the ceiling. Breath in, coming down. Exhale. So that same glute muscle, that big one, we were waking up, we're using now to hinge at that hip. Good. I have to pay attention because I started losing it in my uppers and my scapula started coming together. So I'm focusing on pushing my pinkies away from each other, keeping my ears out of my shoulder, pressing my foot up towards the ceiling. Breath in, coming down. Exhale. Two more. Don't forget what's happening at your shoulder blades. Push into your hands. Separate your pinkies there. I really start losing it there. Okay. Come back. Nice child's pose stretch. You're going to take 3 deep breaths there. Okay, we're going to go into sideline and work on that gluteus medius that we talked about. So you can work on your scapula stability by having your elbow underneath your shoulder and getting your scapula back and down, length through your neck. If this is uncomfortable for you, by all means, go down and just support your head, okay? But I'm going to go up into this position, lift my bottom rib cage, get my organization of my upper quarter, okay? And now I'm going to lift my leg up. Now, your gluteus, you have a lot of muscles that'll lift your leg up away from the floor, okay? If my leg is forward, I want you to all go there and lift your leg, okay? See what's happening. See where you feel that. Now bring it back so it's in line with your body, maybe even a little bit of a turnout, and lift it. That's your gluteus medius, and that's the one that we want to be working here, okay? So don't let your leg drift in front of your body. Keep it in line with your body. Breath in, going up. Exhale, come down. Breath in, up. Exhale, going down. Imagine if your leg was on the wall, that you're just doing a brush stroke, straight up and down. Keeping my alignment through my upper quarter. If you're having trouble balancing, put your other hand down on the ground. Stabilize yourself here. If you don't need it, you can lift it up. It's more work to stabilize with my hand not there. Okay, but you should be feeling it in the lateral part of your butt. Okay, keep that in line with your body. One more. Hold it there. That's your gluteus medius. And come down. I'm going to switch to the other side. Again, choose your position. Get yourself organized. Elbow underneath your shoulder. Scapula back and down. Length through my spine. My head's reaching away from my tailbone. You can have your opposite knee bent or straight. Get your top leg in line with your body, and then breath in as you come up. Exhale, coming down. Little tiny bit, if you can, turn out of your leg. Again, that's going to prime the gluteus medius. I right away started getting my ear towards my shoulder, or my shoulder towards my ear, so I had to push in through my elbow, lengthen, get that scapula stabilization. It's not a huge movement because I want to keep length between my top hip and rib area there. I don't want to be bending in the back. Isolate to that hip. See if you can feel it in that lateral posterior buttocks area. A couple more here. Great. Okay, come on up to sitting, and we're going to do one more thing just in standing, but before we sit, I just wanted to show you the Z-sit position. Now, some people can tolerate this, some people can't. Sometimes it's too hard on your knees, but this is a great way to just get some mobilization through your hips. My left knee going out, as you can see, my left hip is in external rotation, my right is in internal rotation. If I'm a little bit tight here, I can put a yoga block or a folded towel underneath there, okay? But a nice way when you're sitting here to mobilize and get the rotation in your hip, okay? Because we all tend to get tight there. And just doing some breathing. Next time we'll do some side bending and articulation through there. But just wanted to show you how you can self-mobilize. And what I'm thinking is that I'm reaching my sit bone down, okay, and my ribs away from my sit bone and just reaching up. Just gonna do a little stretching through there. If I want to switch and get my other hips, so now my right hip is going into external rotation, left hip into internal rotation. And explore, because a lot of times one is tighter than the other side. Sometimes they're opposite. For me, I have a hard time getting this left sit bone down, whereas my right one went right down. So I've got to think, and I can just take my hand, put my right hand down, take my left hand, and just sort of mobilize and push that hip down, okay? You can also actively do it, like I said, reach the sit bone down and your rib cage away from it, okay? And just spending some time sitting here and breathing, thinking about your axial elongation is a good way to gently mobilize the hip rotation. So let's come on up to standing. And we're just going to revisit our standing posture, okay? Equal weight on both feet. Feel where those pods are on your feet. Equal pressure on both the inside and the outside. Heels lined up behind the knees, knees soft, femurs aligned over the knees. And then getting that pelvic position. Reach up towards the ceiling with both hands, turn them out, come on down, and elongate. So this week, you can spend a little time still working on getting your posture and using those cues to get you in the correct position till this starts feeling more normal for you. You can also, during your day, turn on those glutes. Do a little gluteal isometric. Turn on both, turn on one, turn on the other, work on some heel raises. All things, you don't have to have this is my exercise time. You can be exercising through the day, okay? If I'm chopping up vegetables, I can be doing some heel raises, paying attention to my alignment. So have a great week. If you have questions right now, you can unmute and let me know.
Thank you, Gail.
Hi,
You're welcome. I'll see you next week.
hi, Gail.
Link.
Hi, quick question. When we were doing the hip stretch, like in the lunge, I noticed on one side I was fine, but on the other side, my knee that was back was hurting.
The
Like,
knee
like I got some.
The kneeling
Like
knee?
I got some, yeah, the kneeling knee.
Yeah. So what I would do is bring a chair, okay? And so you don't have to kneel on that knee. Put one foot up on a chair. Tuck the tailbone underneath you and lean forward. And this is great to do, you know, especially we're sitting at the computer all day long. Blah, 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 blah. Every time you get up from your computer, make yourself do this, okay? Tuck the tailbone underneath, lean forward. I don't have to kneel on my knee, and just take a couple of breaths. Okay, it's really gonna open this up. And then after you do that, then fire up those glutes. But it may be the pressure on your knee was too much.
And it's more like in the thigh above the knee. So I don't
Okay,
know.
well that may be that those muscles are tight.
Yeah.
So you just have to back off a little bit and go to where it's a comfortable stretch and not so much pain.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, see you guys next week.
Gail,
Bye.